Welcome back to the news at 10. As the federal government considers an energy mix to ensure adequate electricity supply in the country, the director of the Center for Renewable Energy Research, based in Katsina State, Dr. Abdullahi Mati, has suggested an increase in the wind speed of the pilot wind-driven power plant located in the state. Speaking to Channels Television in Katsina, Dr. Mati explained that the wind in Katsina is highly intermittent. He observes that there are issues that will inhibit the power generated from the plant from being transported to the national grid. This special report looks at the possibility of the wind-powered plant.
Nigeria's electricity is mainly generated from hydro and gas. To address the nation's epileptic power supply, government has been exploring other sources of power generation, including solar, coal and wind. This is the first wind-based energy development in the country and the largest in West Africa. The farm is situated in Rime village, 25 kilometers south of the capital of Katsina State. It is made up of 37 turbines, each with a capacity of 275 kilowatts. This will generate about 10 megawatts of electricity, which is inadequate for the people.
10 megawatts is the maximum capacity, done. And we are even looking at the possibility of doing hybrid, if this is commissioned. That's what the government is waiting for. Certainly 10%, 10 megawatts cannot be okay for Katsina people, but will go a long way in alleviating our power crisis.
Wind option offers cheap source of energy because wind is free. So at least even if the installation cost is high, the running cost is very, very minimal, and the levelized cost becomes low. The wind is highly intermittent. At the end of the day, it even makes the power grid, if you put it on the national grid, it makes it less efficient. So it's better run as a microgrid of its own, feeding specific customers.
The average wind speed for Katsina ranges between 4 to 6 meters per second, according to the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, and this is considered as low for the windmill to function.
I think it's a really very dicey issue to conclude of its applicability or not because of these limitations of the wind speed. We are not too conversant of the type of wind turbines that were deployed, but fairly based on our research, we have observed that really the wind turbines need some special arrangement for them to work, which we are aware that the Ministry of Power is making proper arrangement to ensure that these wind turbines work.
Wind energy is an integral part of the national policy on sustainable energy and energy efficiency. The government is hoping to learn some lessons from the implementation of this wind farm, which will be replicated in other parts of the country.
It has been 2 years since residents of Moore Road Estate were supplied prepaid meters. Yet they wonder why Eco Disco has refused to commission them for use, preferring to send them estimated bills instead. They claim they've made several attempts to have meaningful discussions with the management of EKEDC, which has even left them in darkness since April. However, the General Manager, Corporate Communications, EKEDC, Mr. Godwin Idemudia, said the Moore Road project was a pilot scheme which is due for upgrade.
When night falls at Moore Road Estate, Yaba, Lagos, it's usually very dark, just like a rural setting with no electricity. Nighttime is no fun for them as generator sets come alive with the attendant noise and pollution.
It's 7:45 now, and I have to get a technician to fix my generators. You can imagine the noise. If they don't fix this, that means I have to sleep in darkness. My kids will sleep in the heat, and they will cry all through the night. I'll have to stand up and fan them. Now, this is what we go through every night.
This has been the case for the past 3 months, and now they cannot take it any longer. After a series of meetings and disagreement with a coal distribution company overestimated an exorbitant billing system, which has not produced any result, they've decided to make their plight known to the world.
Eco Disco installed prepaid meter in November 2015 on the premises of everybody here. But they will not allow us to use the prepaid meter. In some instances, they said the analog meter that we're using before is still working with the prepaid meter.
Charges are still being sent arbitrarily, as alleged by other residents, and this has led to a friction between them and Eco Disco.
You can see the bill for a flat that is uninhabited. So I don't know how they read the meters.
While some areas are practically dying to have prepaid meters, why has Eco Disco refused to commission these ones at Moore Road Estate in Yaba, Lagos? We paid a visit to their Marina head office, where we met with the General Manager Corporate Communications, Mr. Godwin Idemudia, who said what's on ground at Moore Road Estate was a pilot scheme.
So that meter is just there to control and see how electricity is being consumed. And we told them that will be there for a while. I am confirming to you that in the next few weeks, we are deploying meters to them, which they can now get their token to recharge.
It would no doubt be a great relief if the promises made are fulfilled. However, the residents must also allow personnel from Eco Disco do their job when they come visiting. That way, we can be sure of a win-win situation for both parties. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Kidnap kingpin Chukwudumeje Onwamadike has clarified the lawsuit filed by a lawyer on his behalf, saying he knows nothing about it. In an exclusive conversation with Channels Television while in police custody, Evans, as he is popularly called, dismissed the lawsuit as an attempt by some people to rope him into more trouble. He says at no time did he contract any lawyer to file damages against the police. According to him, I have no hand in any case filed by the police, and I did not speak with any lawyer or my father to file a case on my behalf. All I will say is that they should temper justice with mercy. He also explains that even if he is set free by the police, he will not go, as he believes that the victims of his kidnapping will kill him. In the meantime, the suit filed by the said lawyer, Olukoya Ogunmeje, was dismissed at the Federal High Court in Lagos on Friday. Meanwhile, the police in Benue State have arrested 2 women allegedly involved in the stealing of a 9-month-old baby from an underaged nanny watching over the baby. According to Commissioner of Police, Mr. Bashir Makama, who paraded the suspects along with 5 other criminal suspects, said the suspects were intercepted by members of the Eminent Persons Forum who suspected foul play.
The 9-month-old baby was given to that little girl, to look after. And then at the end of the day, somebody came and gave her 100 naira or 500, go and buy something. She handed in, and at the end of the day, she came back and the baby was nowhere. So that baby was taken into another interior village where all through the night she was crying. Meanwhile, the mother of this baby came back and asked, "Where is my baby?" She could not tell her who had collected that baby from her. The adults, of course, the 2 of them that are there, will be surely prosecuted for stealing, child stealing, because they are not the owner of the baby. None of them is related to the mother of the baby nor the father, so they had no reason to take that baby from where they collected it from that small girl and took her to another place.
Ahead of Army Day celebrations on July 6th, the military formations across Nigeria are initiating several activities to mark the day. July 6th is usually set aside by the Nigerian Army to honor all those who took part in the First World War.
Morning, gentlemen!
Preparations are in top gear in Jos Plateau State for the Nigerian Army Day celebrations. But the leaders here are not marking it alone, as they involve all security agencies, from the police to the Nigeria Road Safety Commission, the Nigeria Prison Service, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, among others. And having in mind the threat of the Ariwa youths against the Igbos, they embark on this show of force to show how ready they are to tackle anyone who foments trouble on October the 1st, the deadline given to the Igbos to vacate northern Nigeria.
We have also taken measures to ensure that peace is maintained on all areas. And if there's peace, I don't think there will be any agitation. And as for the October 1st, I don't think it is feasible because the unity of Nigeria is at stake and it is not negotiable.
He also explained the reason why all the other forces joined the Nigerian army in the show of force. He says this is to show how united the armed forces and other security operatives are. An example, he says all Nigerians should borrow from the military.
By way of conducting this route march, we are also assuring them they were capable of containing any situation that will come their way, because the essence of the security agencies is to defend life and property. So we are here to warm up, to prepare for any unforeseen.
In Imo State, the leadership believes that while celebrating the army and those who fought in World War I, it is important to show love to other Nigerians through medical outreaches organized by the army. The brigade commander, 34 Artillery, Obinze, Imo State, Brigadier General Hamza Bature, also gives assurance that the army will continue to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria.
We collaborate with all stakeholders in the security, including the traditional leaders and civil society. I've met with NUJ, I've met with electricity distribution companies, I've met with traditional rulers in Imo State to ensure that we partner together for effective security in the state.
While the Niger State Command of the Training and Doctoring Command in Minna engaged themselves in the clearing up of drainage channels. Their counterparts in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State also engaged in sanitation exercise. The motive of all these exercises across the country is to ensure that the officers and men are not only ready within the barracks, but to also ensure that they carry along the people who reside in communities where they operate.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says the recent improvement in supplies of AGO, also known as diesel, has forced the market price to fall from 300 naira per litre to about 160 naira per litre across major cities in Nigeria. The other intervention also by the corporation to ensure reception and availability of the products is strategic engagement with major stakeholders like the Major Marketers Association of Nigeria, Petroleum Tanker Drivers, National Association of Road Transport Owners, among others. According to the statement signed by the Group General Manager, Public Affairs Division of the NNPC, Mr. Ndu Ugamadu, the corporation has also taken huge steps to resuscitate some of its critical pipelines and depots, such as the Atlas Cove, Mosimi Depot Pipeline, Port Harcourt Refinery, Abad Depot Pipeline, Kaduna-Kano Pipeline, and the Kano Depot for enhanced distribution of AGO. Still ahead on the news at 10, world champions Germany win FIFA Confederations Cup in Russia. That's coming up in sports news. Please stay with us.